Through 2 games in this series, it appears as if Minnesota is in over their head, outclassed on both ends of the floor, and it seems as if fans and media may have forgotten how great this OKC team is. Laundry list includes NBA MVP, first-ranked defensive unit in the entire league, co-star Jalen Williams, first-time All-Star, All-NBA defensive second team. In many ways, this should have been expected. However, here's a few key strategy pieces they're using to beat the Wolves right now. Defensive method number 1, fronting the post. The Wolves love to get mismatches down in the post and let Julius Randle exploit that and score, or force you into rotation with help. So you'll see OKC put Dort on the front side and try to front here, and even in semi-transition. Great thought here by Mike Conley. You want to get the pass here before they can load up, but Hartenstein recognizes this immediately, gets to the backside of this play, has support for Dort. Dort's got the front side, he's got the backside, and that makes these post-entry passes very tough. Some of this is Minnesota beating themselves. They get the mismatch here because OKC can't front the post. So McDaniels is going to cut into the paint. Caruso is going to physically tag the cutter. Now Hartenstein steps over as the spy to offer some support. So Rudy Gobert flashes to the middle of the paint. Caruso tags him so Hartenstein can get back. Now immediately, you need Mike Conley to lift up here. You need McDaniels to fill the weak side corner and Conley to lift up to make this passing angle easier. But you don't get that. And these offensive fundamentals and spacing concepts are so critical, and that turns into another Minnesota Timberwolves turnover. Mercy Lord, please stop trying to force feed the post if OKC is going to front. Caruso's fronting great ball pressure here from Aaron Wiggins, making this pass even tougher. If he had less pressure, maybe he can angle it towards the sideline, let Randle get underneath it, but SGA was already at the midline. He's the weak side low man, and he's ready to help and support Caruso. J-Dub's ready to crack back and help the helper, and here's where you see OKC's spacing principles take off. On the fast break, you have Wiggins and Wallace sprinting to the wings. J-Dub is going to receive this cut. He's going to pass, get it back to Caruso once the defense collapses, transition 3 ball, defense fueling offense. Next biggest problem is the Wolves had their hands full with the NBA MVP. I love that they started out with some movement. You have him chasing for a DHO. He's going to reject it. You hit that little pocket pass, and now you've got him on this angle. You're able to be physical, get your bump in, create separation, and get to that pull-up jumper. He gave them fits in game 2. From a coverage standpoint, it's been a lot of one-on-one, and then in the pick and roll, drop coverage. You see here, they're kind of flattened out. He's going to play one-on-one. You get a little bit of gap help from Anthony Edwards, but it's not a deeply committed gap help. They're trusting McDaniels, and McDaniels has been getting flayed a little bit. But you see shortly after that, an adjustment is indeed on its way. Now, I didn't say that adjustment worked. We saw a 2-3 zone that they had been playing, but they extended it all the way out to half court, acting as a trap on SGA at half. So he's going to pitch it to Caruso, and this now is a short roll type situation. So Gobert has to play in between him and Chet and the rim. Then you see Nas crack back to try to help the helper. That leaves Wallace wide open on that 3 ball on the wing. And you see the spacing principles differ. Wallace was in the right spot when Conley was in that situation and he wasn't. They tried it again. Spoiler, it didn't work either. So they come up, they're trying to press. He just simply passes it ahead to J-Dub, who's going to drive this, draws help off the corner. You make the simple pass 1 pass away. There's Lou Dort, bangs one out. I get it, times are hard, but I just don't think that's the adjustment needed. After OKC abused them at the end of the third, they just started bringing a hard double. Here they're going to get that gap help, and McDaniels converts it to a double, so he kicks it to J-Dub. Pass fake on the Nasri closeout. Body bump to Jaden McDaniels in the paint, and he gets the bucket. Shout out to J-Dub. Really, this entire OKC offense, they played perfectly off the one-on-one scoring of SGA in game 2. Won't dive too deep into it, but this was an encouraging rep for the Wolves. They're going to run zipper for Anthony Edwards, which is just a down screen to get your star player right in the middle of the floor. And he catches it and attacks immediately. You see how J-Dub wasn't able to load up in that gap and sit. They weren't able to load up towards him and bring guys up to impede his driving path. So I think this is something that should be implemented more in the offense moving forward. Great tactical work from OKC aside. They are dominating the mental battle in the series. They have the Wolves so flustered and in their own heads about the officiating and foul calls in favor of SGA. We saw Ant get a tech in game 1. We saw Jaden McDaniels get a flagrant for pushing SGA in game 2. Just simple mistakes you think that they shouldn't be making by now. They've been to the Western Conference Finals in back-to-back years, been on the ropes, faced an elite Denver team, faced LeBron and Luka. They faced some legitimate competition along the way and are just making simple mistakes that necessarily shouldn't be there. Ant and Chris Finch, this duo should be openly praised because they've maximized what I think is really an offensively challenged roster. Julius Randle was never the perfect fit next to Anthony Edwards, but Ant's advancements as a passer and as a shooter have given this team a much higher offensive ceiling. Shout out to Julius Randle. He's played some fantastic basketball in this postseason, but overall it's not enough. They just don't have enough talent, and they're losing to a team who is thoroughly better than them on both ends. And at the end of the day, that's okay because it's part of what sports is all about. Appreciate you all tuning in. First YouTube video in the books. Hopefully this is a staple now. No promises. My socials will be linked below. Stay blessed. Appreciate you.